welcome to the latest installment of My Dad Listens to This. I'm Juliet the daughter.
And I'm Kevin the dad. And Juliet, what did you pick for us this time?
Well, after Beavis and Butthead left me a bit of a mess, I decided let's pick something that has like a 99% chance of being good. So, this week we're talking about the iconic Fleetwood Mac album, Rumours. Dad, what do we need to know?
Well, we need to know for our Fleetwood Mac biography, check out our Tango in the Night podcast.
We were very thorough.
Good. I hope you were.
Yes.
Okay, so we're just going to go back in time a little bit. Pre-1975, Mick Fleetwood, John and Christine McVie, and various bandmates were used to putting out albums on Warner Brothers Reprise label, selling a respectable 200 to 300,000 copies per album, making a nice little living for themselves, thank you very much. Singer, guitarist, songwriter Bob Welch left in 1974, ending Fleetwood Mac's 9th lineup in 8 years. So Mick hears about Lindsey Buckingham and hires him, but Lindsey says they have to hire his girlfriend, Stevie Nicks, as well, or no dice. So the three meet at a Mexican restaurant and Mick hires them both. The band records Fleetwood Mac, not to be confused with the 1968 debut album, also called Fleetwood Mac. It takes 58 weeks for the album to hit number one, but it also sells 7 million copies, and suddenly they're the biggest band in the world.
Wow.
So what are they going to do for a follow-up?
Rumours?
Let's find out.
No.
After touring non-stop for 6 months with the band, John and Christine divorced after 8 years of marriage.
Oh.
They would not talk to each other except for musical matters.
Okay, well.
So it was kind of like, you go into the studio, kind of like punching the clock. You're dealing with the people that you have to work with, and then as soon as it's over, you go your own way. I'll go my own way.
Ironic, since that's not who that song is about, but we'll get there.
Now, Lindsey and Stevie broke up after having an on-again, off-again relationship. But they could still work together, even though it was a lot of yelling in the studio. They got stuff done. And Mick? What about Mick?
Was Mick just Mick?
Well, Mick found out his best friend had an affair with Mick's wife, Jenny Boyd.
But related to... Oh, yeah, was that Patty's sister?
Sister of Patty.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading her book.
Those Boyd sisters, I'll tell you.
No.
Heartbreakers.
Well, George was a heartbreaker, too. He cheated with Patty on Ringo's wife.
What?
They were cheating on each other, remember?
Who? Oh,
George
yeah,
and Patty.
yeah.
And, George said to Ringo, I'm sleeping with your wife. And got real quiet. And Ringo goes, well, better you than someone we don't know. Anyway,
Wow.
Fleetwood Mac.
Okay. But before Mick and Jenny divorced, Mick had a secret coke-fueled affair with Stevie, who was dating Don Henley from the Eagles at the time.
I'm sorry, what?
Whilst Mick would have an affair with Stevie's friend Sarah Ricor. You got that?
No.
Lot of
Boinking.
musical chairs.
Yeah, sure. Let's put it that way.
Anyway,
Aye.
so in February 1976, the band met at the record plant in Sausalito, California. The plant setup was a small recording studio in a large windowless wooden building. And if you go online and look at pictures of the record plant, it's depressing. You look at this and think, this is where a serial killer would take his victims before doing them in.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But the band members complained and they wanted to record in their homes, but Mick said, no, we're going to do this together. We're not just going off in separate directions. So Christine and Stevie lived in condos near the city's harbor, and the guys lived in the studio's lodge in the hills nearby. They recorded in a few other studios as well, and one song was recorded at the Zellerbach Auditorium at UC Berkeley. We'll get to that a little later. Now, the idea behind Rumours was to make an album where every single song could be released as a single and become a hit. So the idea was all killer, no filler. Now, the original working title was Yesterday's Gone. John McVie came up with Rumours because of all the gossip about the band. And since John is British, Rumours was spelled with an extra U, causing a generation of students to spell the word that way, once to the consternation of their teachers. Plus, since I write my notes on Word, it kept trying to correct it when I ran the notes through spell and grammar check. I have to keep hitting ignore.
See, I spelled it the American way.
Ah.
Oops. I'll fix that for the episode title, though.
Okay. And yes, since this was the 70s, drugs and excess were up the yin-yang.
Oh boy.
At one point, the band spent 4 studio days trying to tune a piano. And some days the band would come in at 7 p.m., party until 1 or 2 in the morning, and then start recording.
Jeez.
Now, the band took so long recording, the release date was pushed back from September of 76 to February 77. So 5 months. And they also had to cancel a tour.
Oh no.
On top of that, they played back the master tapes so many times that they began to thin out, and the specialist had to be brought in to rescue the tapes, which he did.
Oh, thank God.
Now, Rumours was produced by the band along with Ken Calais,
I don't know.
father of Colby Calais, who does that song.
Oh, Calais?
Calais, yes, who does that song Champagne.
Bubbly?
Yeah,
It's not. Okay. Yeah.
okay. And Richard Dasher, who would both work on the band's subsequent albums. This would be the band's first album released on Warner Brothers' main label as opposed to Reprise, because, you sell a lot of records, you get to sit at the grown-ups table. So speaking of selling lots of records, Warner's put in an advanced order for 800,000 copies of Rumours. And guess what?
What?
It wasn't enough.
Oh, wow.
Rumours was the #1 record in the USA for 31 non-consecutive weeks.
Nice.
It re-entered the Billboard Top 200 in 2011 at number 11 due to some Glee episode where they did like Fleetwood Mac songs.
I hate that show so much.
And it came back in the top 10 again in 2020 after a TikTok showed someone skateboarding while Dreams played.
Oh, yeah, drinking cranberry juice. I love
Drinking
that guy.
cranberry juice, and sales of Ocean Spray went through the roof as well.
Yeah, Mick Fleetwood liked that video a lot, turns out.
Yeah, because I guess him and Stevie did their own versions.
Yeah.
And then Ocean Spray, to show their gratitude to their skyrocketing sales, bought the skateboarder a truck.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see.
You have the holy trinity of TikTok, the cranberry juice, the cans of soup, and the twisted tea.
Okay, what's the cans of soup? Because of the Trump thing?
Yes.
Okay.
And the twisted tea was when somebody was at a convenience store and it was a black guy and a white guy threw a slur at him. So the black guy took the can of twisted tea and used it as a melee weapon and bashed it on his head and the can cracked open. It was great.
Huh.
So people were using it to remix to songs,
Oh,
like
jeez.
famous drum beats. Like people used it for the Phil Collins one.
Do.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway.
So Rumours sold 10 million copies worldwide within a month of its release.
Nice.
Certified sales have it at 27.9 million, while claimed sales are 40 million.
Huh.
Which I guess it's like, no, we really sold 40 million. We don't know what happened with those other 13 million copies, but
They're
someone
there.
bought them.
Mm-hmm.
It got raves for the most part. I know Jim hated it, hated the band.
Oh,
and
yeah, what did he say when it came out?
I don't know. I don't think I met him until like maybe a year or two later.
Okay.
But all I can say is 1977 was probably not an easy year for him.
Sorry, Uncle Jim.
So it won the 1977 Grammy for Album of the Year, which was clearly a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
It was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 2003, and in 2018 it was selected for preservation in the National Recording Registry by the Library of Congress. It's made a butt-ton of greatest albums ever lists, and one picking it as the #3 best album of the 1970s behind London Calling and Dark Side of the Moon.
That's fair.
Yes, but why? Why?
Why what?
Why is this such a great album?
Oh.
I think there were two things that I kept coming across in my research. One, it sounds so good.
It does.
Which
It's good
it
sound
does,
quality.
especially if you listen to it on headphones.
Mm-hmm.
All the time that they spent in the studio paid off. I mean, when they made Rumours, it was unheard of for the amount of time that they spent trying to just get everything the way they wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
But they would break that record when they went on to make Tusk, which cost them $1 million to make.
And didn't sell as well, right?
Well, it sold for $1 million, but it was looked on as a commercial failure because it didn't sell 27.9 million.
Yeah.
And number two, the songwriting, because they just put everything out there.
Yeah, whether we wanted it or not, but we'll get to
And
that.
Stevie Nicks put it best. She said, if we'd been a big, healthy, great group of guys and gals, none of those great songs would have been written.
Yeah.
And I think it's that theory of great art resulting from struggle and pain and hard times.
I think it's more so that the art is what you use to cope with the pain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, about that cover, it's just Mick and Stevie. Stevie's in her Rhiannon garb, minus the top hat, thankfully, because I saw some of the other shots they were thinking of using.
Not as good.
No, she looks kind of ridiculous in that top hat.
Okay.
Looks a lot better without it.
She's also wearing ballet point shoes.
Yeah, that's part of her Rhiannon costume.
Okay.
And Mick is holding a crystal ball whilst a pair of balls are dangling between his legs. And they were actually a part of Mick's stage setup for years. And they are toilet chains, which are like inside the tank.
Why would you wear that around your waist?
I don't know,
That
to
just
show
seems
that you've
heavy.
got a big pair, my friend. And
Subtle.
ultimately, there's no meaning at all to the cover. It was just kind of like a WTF that was intended to draw the curious into buying the album to find out what's on the inside. Now, the back has pictures of the whole band. John showing us his navel, Lindsay looking like Jesus with too much hair, Stevie looking like Farrah's little sister, a goggled-eyed Mick.
Yeah, he looks like Animal from the Muppets.
Yeah, he kind of does. And Christine in profile looking away from the camera, which is one of my favorite shots of her. She just looks very mysterious. It would take until 1997's live album, The Dance, for all the members to be on the front cover of one of their albums.
Because they hated each other that much.
No, I think it was just the pictures that they took. Like for Tusk, it's a picture of a dog about to attack someone's leg.
And Tango in the Night's like a landscape
It's a painting.
painting of like a lake or something.
And for the album that everyone always forgets in between those, Mirage, it's Christine, Lindsay, and Stevie on the front cover, and John and Mick on the back. And if the album had been a fold out, it would have been one big picture because they were all taken together in the same shot. And as for me, yep, I bought the record when it came out when I
Really?
was 14 years old.
How'd you hear about it?
Well, there was no escaping it. I mean, I just
okay.
heard all the songs. Everyone thought, this is probably going to be a good record. And I liked it. Not like really loved it because
Okay.
it was like some of the songs at the time I could have done without because I was 14. And at that age, I didn't know a lot of what was going on. I wasn't in any relationships or anything like that. Not even dating, not for lack of trying. It's like Linus's book report that he had to do for Ethan Frome, and all he wrote was, not being a married person, I think it is impossible for me to understand the emotions involved in this novel.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
he got an A.
Good for him.
Yeah, so
This
it's
is
like,
honest.
you're 14 years old, you're listening to these songs, and it's like, yeah, they're catchy, but I cannot relate to any of them.
To be fair, I think I got Ethan Frome more when I was 17 years old than I would have at Linus's age. How old are the Peanuts in the comics supposed to be?
About 7.
Yeah, they're not going to understand that book.
No, I mean, I didn't read Ethan Frome until like last year, and I thought, okay, now I know exactly why.
Oh, yeah, because you saw me reading it for AP English.
And I thought, yeah, I should read this.
Yeah. Sled.
Yeah. Let's go on a sled ride. What could possibly go wrong?
Everything.
Yes. So for all of you out there, now you don't have to read the book. Now, when I got older, it made sense. And I eventually got the 2004 remaster, which for some reason inserted the song Silver Springs between what back then was side 1 and side 2. Now, that song was left off Rumours due to its time length because back then, you didn't go over 40 minutes on an album. You had only that much amount of time to say what you wanted to say, which before CDs was kind of an advantage because it really forced bands to focus on what they want to put out, as opposed to when CDs came out, you got 80 minutes and we're just going to fill it up with everything. Anyway, so yeah, it was due to its time length and due to its slower tempo, pissing off Stevie to no end.
Uh-oh.
Decades of being pissed off. She wanted to put that song on her 1991 solo best of, and Mick said no.
Uh-oh.
And Stevie pulled a Cartman saying, screw you guys,
I'm going home.
I'm going home. Only to come back in 1997 for the live album, The Dance, on which the band performed the song. That version wound up being nominated for a Grammy, but since it's not on the original release of Rumours, we will not be reviewing it. It was used as a B-side.
If we ever do The Dance, who knows?
But the 35th anniversary reissue of Rumours got it right. Disc 1 has the original album, then some silence, then Silver Springs. So, now one last story. this is probably late 80s, early 90s, back in my Blue Cross days.
Oi.
I was on lunch walking down Washington Street listening to WHJY on my Walkman.
Oh, yeah, because
Yes.
Walkmans could get radio.
Yes, they could. And it was a cassette playing Walkman. So
Yeah.
this was way back. And it was like this perfect spring day. I mean, like the 70s and just perfect. So
You said it was the 80s, though. 80s and 90s.
yeah,
So why'd you say 70s?
temperature wise.
Oh, okay. Duh. I was like, wait, did Dad forget the year?
No, it was I'm just giving you the weather report of the day. I mean, it was just perfect. So I'm listening, and the DJ, Rick O.B., also Rick O'Brien, he came on, he said, you know what? Since it's such a great day outside, I feel like playing side one of Rumours. No interruptions. And he did, which was kind of a ballsy move because radio was turning really corporate back then. I mean, it still is now,
Yeah.
but it was being like really regimented with the formats of like you will play these so many songs
And then
per
commercial.
hour. You will play them so many times during the day, and try not to have a personality. But his thing was like, I feel like doing this. We're just gonna do it.
Yeah.
And speaking of doing it, we're just gonna do it.
All right, so you ready?
Here we go.
All right, the first track, Secondhand News. This might be the bounciest song where a guy says, I'm no good for you, that I have ever heard. But I kind of get where Lindsay is coming from, because he seems at peace with this decision. It's like they had their fun, someone else has entered his former lover's life, and he's fine with that. He just wants to be left alone to do his stuff. Lindsay has the tone of, go ahead, move on, I'm happy for you. As for the person he's singing to, well, we kind of can't tell, because this is a song written from Lindsay's point of view about the situation. But Stevie gets some background vocals, but it seems like she's saying, after all you did to me, why can't you leave me alone? As if she still needs to get him out of her system. As for the music, I think if you don't pay attention to the lyrics, this song might be fun for a road trip with the bouncy guitar and the vocal scatting. It's an odd mix with the lyrics, but I can respect it.
Now, the thing that blew me away about this song was that originally it was going to be more of a folk song,
Oh.
but then Lindsay heard the Bee Gees jive talking and wanted a disco-like groove, and as soon as I read it, I thought, son of a gun, someone needs to do a mashup of those two songs because they sound so similar, and I'm surprised that the Bee Gees never sued.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, this is the first time I had ever listened to this album on headphones, and holy crap.
It sounds good on headphones, right?
Yeah, what an ear-opening experience. One guitar in each ear, gorgeous harmonies and bass in the middle, and drums on the left, and it's catchy as all get out, and it lives up to writer Bobby Ann Mason's observation that rock and roll is happy music about sad stuff. And pretty much the rest of this album lives up to that too, that observation as well.
Yep.
And it's like, I know there's nothing to say. Someone has taken my place. And one thing I think you should know, I ain't going to miss you when you go. And I'm just secondhand news. Secondhand, previously used. Like, ouch. It's like, yeah, I think yesterday's news would have worked just as well. Because it gives that, yeah, I'm not as fresh as I used to be. And a great opening song. I love how it fades in at the beginning. And it's really catchy. And anyone can sing along to it, and no one can resist it, unless you're Jim.
You know what a Portuguese person would say?
No.
I'm not secondhand. I'm brand new secondhand.
That's true.
Yep. That could be funny. Hey, Portuguese kids, get on that. I would love to hear that. All right, so next track, Dreams. According to Spotify, this song has been listened to more than 600 million times.
By the same person.
That would be incredible. Does that mean it's good? Well, I think it depends on what you're looking for. Personally, based on the lyrics that came up on Google, I kind of expected a more sadistic sound. On the page, the song's message is simple. If you're gonna leave me, you're gonna learn really quick that no one else can do what I can. But the music doesn't really go anywhere. It seems held back, and there are two possibilities. Either she's holding back her tears, or she's at peace with this, for the most part. As for the music, Stevie's voice sounds way better than it did on Tango in the Night. Nothing that WHJY would be able to make fun of with some sheep anyway. But I guess for an album that's rooted in so much drama, I didn't expect such a mellow sound. Then again, art is how people cope with pain, and maybe Fleetwood Mac didn't want their music to reflect the pain they were trying to get away from too much.
Yeah. Stevie said she wrote this in 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And when she played it for the group, they weren't crazy about it, and she begged them, please, to record this. And she also said she felt this was like the first song of hers that she wrote that was like actually a dance song. Which I guess beat-wise, I can kind of see
It
it.
doesn't bop, though.
So they recorded the song, and it went to #1, so there. And I pulled out my Billboard Top 40 book, and it's their only song that's gone to #1.
Oh, wow, really?
Yep.
That's interesting.
And then, like, that first verse, she's pissed. I mean,
Yes.
it's like, now here you go again. You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should play the way you feel it, but listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness, like a heartbeat that drives you mad.
See, that's why I wanted
In this-
sadistic music to back it up. Like, yes, revel in their pain, but no, we have to be nice.
In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, can you just imagine if the music was dark to match it? It would have been like this great sadistic anthem, but it's not.
Well, maybe it's like that opposite thing again. I mean, it's not exactly happy music. It's more like catchy music about sex.
But I want them to floor it. I want them to floor it. I want to feel the sadism.
I mean, musically, it's not as happy as Secondhand News,
No.
but I still find it catchy nonetheless. I mean, and everyone of a certain age knows that chorus by heart. And I like Lindsay's use of the volume pedal guitar. It kind of reminds me of George Harrison's playing on Yes It Is. Yep.
Okay. All right. Never going back again. I can sum up this song in 5 words. You're a mess. I'm out.
Yep, that's 5.
But the music just doesn't match. Why is the guitar so happy? Like, if you took the bitter lyrics away and substituted lyrics from, say, a Dolly Parton song, it would work perfectly. Like, think about it. But what I can't forgive this, is the way Lindsey Buckingham teased me with those background vocals humming so angelically, only putting them in the song twice. Oh, you do not get to tease me like that by giving me a taste of vocal excellence and then yanking it back. That is just mean. That is just rude. I was waiting for those hums to unfold into some sort of beautiful vocal tapestry and just nothing. Oh, I just want to hear more of those hums. Screw the song. I want the hums.
Give them what they want, but only just a bit to keep them coming back for more. 'Cause
You teasing SOB.
now you have to keep going back and playing the song over and over and over. Yeah.
That would be a good ringtone or text notification, actually.
So this is all Lindsay, just him in acoustic guitar. And I did some research. He's using the Travis picking technique named after Merle Travis. And this revolves around the combination of alternate bass finger picking and syncopated melodies. Basically, Lindsay's not using a pick per se, but plucking the strings with either his fingertips or his nails. And I think he's an underrated, phenomenal guitarist. And I sent you that YouTube video of him doing Big Love.
I watched that
from the
after we did our
dance.
Tango in the Night episode.
And people out there, if you haven't seen it,
it's so
go on
good.
YouTube and prepare yourself to be amazed.
Yep.
And he wrote this about the rebound he had after breaking up with Stevie, but he doesn't sound too happy about it either, because you can't blame him. It's like, hey, I'm just using you to prove that I still got it. Apparently I do. Thanks. Moving on now.
Oy vey.
But yeah, again, it's, I don't mean to be beating this in, but it's like happy music, sad stuff. And maybe that was intentional because if they matched the music to the content, it would have just been like, 40 minutes of dirge.
But I would like a couple of dirge songs, just to like break the pattern a little bit.
Well, this is California rock, and you're just not going to get that. Sorry.
All right. Maybe if it was Boston or something, then we'd get 40 minutes of yelling.
You probably might.
Yeah. Imagine Fleetwood Mac, but they're all from Boston. So they're literally at each other's throats. All right. Don't stop. Ah, yes! The song that made Lindsey Buckingham say he was apolitical, quote unquote, until he performed this for Bill Clinton and thus inadvertently made a political statement. Oops! And I gotta get on my soapbox for a second.
Go ahead.
Everything is political. The definition of politics, as we were taught in Political Science 202, is who gets what, when, and how. Art is political. Business is political. Religion is political. Basically, the only way to avoid anything that is political is to stop breathing. Okay, that didn't last long. Anyway, back to the song. This is the first song that, in my opinion, is a bop. And it makes sense because Christine McVie wrote it, and she's my favorite member of the band. It's just a happy song basically saying, listen, if today seems bad, just think of what you can do with the future that lays before you. The world is your oyster. And I wish that statement was true for everyone, but this song makes you believe it just for a brief moment. It's catchy, I love the building drums, and the electric guitar solos won everyone and their mother air guitars too. It's just fun and we need some fun. And I remember when... Didn't Christine McVie and Lindsey Buckingham do an album, like, when I was in college or high school?
Yeah, I think it came out about 2 years ago. I got it from the library.
Okay, because I remember that they did the late night show circuits to promote the album, and this is one of the few times that I like Jimmy Fallon. He has a series with classroom instruments with the Roots, and so Lindsey Buckingham and Christine McVie performed Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow on classroom musical instruments.
How'd it sound?
It sounded really fun. I'll show you after we're done recording the episode.
Okay.
Okay, Jimmy Fallon, 1 point for you.
Yeah, the reason that they made that album was they were kind of waiting for Stevie to get her act together so
she
they could
never
do a
did.
Fleetwood Mac album, and they just decided, you know what, we got all this stuff, let's just go make our own album.
Wasn't it any good?
Yes, it's very enjoyable.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, don't stop. It's happy song time. Happy music.
Yay,
happy lyrics.
yay!
Even happy drumming.
Yay!
Which is what makes Mick great. I mean, I'm listening on the headphones, I'm like, wow.
These drums are great.
Yeah,
That's what I
it's
thought
really,
too.
It's so fucking happy.
Yeah. We're gonna have the happiest Christmas since Big Crosby, Tough Just a Day. Okay.
Now, Christine and John had divorced after 8 years of marriage, but darn it, Christine was not a pessimist about it. Mm-hmm. Yesterday's gone. Let's just go onward.
Yep.
That opening is the... What's the matter?
Thought of something terrible.
Of course you did. Okay, let's share it with the group.
Should I drop the F-bomb or a substitution?
It's up to you.
I'm sorry. You know what? I won't use the F word this time. I'll keep it classy. The all-you-can-screw buffet.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. Anyway, keep going.
Okay,
Continue.
to me, that opening is the oral, A-U-R-A-L, equivalent of a sunrise.
I can hear that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Christine is playing tack piano, which I had to look up. It's a piano that has had tacks placed on the hammers at the point where the hammer hits the strings, giving it more of a percussive sound. And her playing on this song reminds me of Ralph the dog. Yes,
I love Ralph.
from the Muppets, because I could see him just totally playing this song.
Did I show you that clip when Ralph was on Arsenio Hall's show?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Jim Henson brought him out. LeVar Burton was also on the couch. And so Jim Henson puts on Ralph. Ralph looks at Arsenio Hall and goes, "Hey, son of a bitch!" And it was like, my childhood is ruined and enhanced.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now, anyone who hears this song and is not temporarily put in a terrific mood is probably
okay?
Jim.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And
Jim.
yes, it was part of Clinton's campaign song in 1992.
No,
And
1996, right? Or was it 1992?
no, 1992.
Or was it 1996?
1992.
No, what was it in 1996?
Don't Stop Again?
Hold on.
I
let me
don't
look that
know.
up. Clinton.
So anyway, yes, Bill got the band to reform and perform it as at his inaugural. Even Lindsey, I'm apolitical, I just want to play my guitar, man, Buckingham, who just wanted to spend all his days getting high and playing guitar in the studio, man.
Yeah, I can't find Clinton's 1996 slogan. But, yeah. Wasn't there a photo of that in that book you got by Steve Kornacki, where it's Clinton's inaugural, and, like, Stevie Nicks is over in the corner, and Bill Clinton's bringing his daughter out to dance or something?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of an awkward moment. But, hey,
Yep.
he did get the band together. Gotta give him that. If he didn't do anything else,
Yeah.
which he probably didn't.
No.
Anyway.
I mean, well, he got the deficit to 0, but he still pals with Jeffrey Epstein, so what outweighs what in this scenario?
Uh-huh.
Anyway, alright, so we just did Don't Stop. Okay, go your own way. Aha! Here we go. The song that makes Mom feel uncomfortable because it feels like she's eavesdropping. I got news for you.
We all were.
We're all eavesdropping. We're all bearing witness to this song. Maybe it just depends on whether or not you like drama. For me, I don't like causing drama. But if there's a good drama story going on, do I want to hear about it? Oh, 100%. Because it makes me think, thank God it's not me. I don't have time for that kind of crap. Anyway, I love how honest Lindsay is here. I love you, but all you want to do is shack up with me. So if you're not going to take what I'm willing to give you, I'm out of here because this is a waste of time. Wonder what Stevie's reaction was when she first heard this. As for the song, it's still fun and has excellent vocals, but I think Whole Foods kind of made me sick of it a little bit because this used to play on the radio when I went to work all the time. And I would sing along to it in my head because it made the day more bearable, but now I can't think of this song without having flashbacks to clocking in, so maybe I need some space from this song before I'm fully able to enjoy it again.
Were you ever tempted to tell the customers you can go your own way?
That was some swear words. Can I tell a story? Julie's like, just to freak out a customer, right? If a customer, like, just lost it and, like, friggin' smacked me in the face, I had a plan. I would make a noise that would make them uncomfortable, and I would slowly look up and I would go, do that again.
Oh, jeez.
Just to freak them the hell out. Like, yeah, you got the crazy
And with
one.
our customer base, they probably would have.
Yeah, they might have.
Okay.
Anyway.
So this is like one of the angriest songs ever. It took 3 studios in 4 months to put it together.
Jeez.
Because no one played together. It's just all overdubs, piecing it together. Now, Lindsay was looking for Mick to play a variation on the Stone Street Fighting Man, which he does really, really well. I mean, I never made the connection until, again, doing the research. I mean, those drums are angry drums. And Lindsay wanted John to play eighth notes during the verses, and then he could do whatever he wanted on the choruses. And I think this was to keep it simple and direct so he could get his words across to Stevie. Now, as for the guitar solo, I was kind of disheartened to read this.
What's the matter?
It was assembled from 6 different lead guitar takes.
Oh.
But I have to admit, it does sound seamless, though.
I'm sure he can play it live, too, knowing
yeah.
how talented he is. Come on.
And again, it just sounds very angry. It's like Lindsay just channeled everything he was feeling into his guitar. And I'll say it again, he's an underrated player.
Yep.
There's nothing overall flashy about that solo, but it communicates his anger to the listener effectively. Now, as for the lyrics, once again, Stevie got pissed every which way possible, especially from the lines, packing up, shacking up is all you want to do. So, and she even demanded that Lindsay remove that line. Nope, he wouldn't do it. And she said every time they performed that song in concert and those lines would come on, she would just get pissed.
Does she still get pissed, or is she like kind of like, is it like now where she's like, it still stings, but it's not as bad?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they've had other relationships since then, and maybe, but you never know. And then there's that open line, loving you isn't the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It's not something, that's something you hear a lot. And leave us not forget, if I could, baby, I'd give you my world. How can I when you won't take it from me?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not me, it's you.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch. You know what? I think anyone's ego would be bruised by that if someone you loved was like, hey, I wrote a song about you. Oh, wow, that's so sweet. What the heck? Oh, God. All right, next track, Songbird. I hear that title and all I can think of is Hey Little Songbird from Hadestown by Anais Mitchell, which if you want to listen to, I'm telling you right now, listen to the live recording, not the Broadway one, better sound quality. And if you want to listen to the live recording, it's the one with all the yellow on the cover, not the black and red, the yellow. Okay, as for this song, oh wow, is it beautiful. I can see a lot of couples dancing to this at weddings and guests bawling their eyes out. Just some simple piano and acoustic guitar. And what's important about the guitar is that Lindsay knows when to show off and when not to. And Christine's voice is just the right volume, passionate but not overwhelming. She's in love, and she knows she will do their best for them, and she knows the whole world seems to be feeling the same way. Romantic and sweet without being saccharine, especially because she's honest about wanting this for herself. Again, so beautiful. Holy crap. Oh my God.
And after Go Your Own Way, it's like,
we needed this.
we need a break. Can we get a break, please?
Can we get a break, please?
Yes.
Let's take 5.
Now, Christine wrote this in half an hour. And the thing was, though, it was near midnight, and there was no one around to record it.
So she did it herself?
No.
Oh.
So she stayed up all night so she wouldn't forget the melody.
Wow.
Until, I guess, people came in and they were able to get the basic structure down.
And then she went home afterwards
I guess.
and passed out.
And then what they did was, It was recorded at the Zellerbach Auditorium at UC Berkeley to give it a concert feel because they just wanted like this
Nice.
wide open sound. So what they did was Christine and a piano, and they put some candles on top of the piano, let them kind of set a mood.
Nice.
And they had 15 microphones placed around the auditorium to pick up the ambience, as it were. And then that song took a long time to record because the goal was to get it in one take.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Lindsay plays acoustic guitar, but he's like way in the background. And the only reason he was doing that was to help keep the tempo.
Oh, that's good.
So it's very, very muted. And
Subtle.
it's just one of the prettiest songs ever.
It's so gorgeous.
And as a guy, I can say when you're 14 years old, it's all about, ooh, Stevie, ooh, pretty.
No, it's
And
a
then-
lie.
And then when you get older, you realize Christine McVie is where it's at. Yep.
But Stevie still has a big fan following, though, even today.
Oh, I'm sure she does.
But no, I agree with you. Christine's my favorite. She's my favorite of the whole band. All right, so next track, The Chain. One I'd heard.
I'm sorry, I mean to interrupt. Okay, so Songbird would be the end of side one and the chain
Side two?
for a song side
Okay,
two.
so The Chain. One song I heard a lot about, but never really listened to. The first thing I noticed, ooh, that intro. Ooh. If that song was just the intro, I would not be mad. Just play that for 5 minutes and I'd be like, Yep, money well spent. At first, I was kind of peeved when everyone started singing because I just wanted that intro to keep going. But as the song went on, the music just got to me, especially that bass solo that makes it sound like two people are circling each other about to pounce. Whether they're gonna pounce on each other and make out, or they're gonna pounce on each other and get into a fight, like meeting in the back of a Denny's parking lot, like it's about to go down. Sounds like it could be both. And then the more and more I listen to the lyrics, the more and more I got it. This is when you're not in love anymore, but there's something about the other person you just can't shake, and that's what makes it so hard. But one thing you know for damn well sure, I may not love this person anymore, but I'll fight anyone who tries to hurt them come hell or high water, 'cause they were mine. It's the emotional equivalent of a rock in a hard place. It blurs the lines between being toxic and having a genuine connection you can't explain. In the context of this song, I relate more to the genuine connection part than the toxicity part, but I think no matter who you are, this song is relatable, and in some cases, maybe more relatable than you want it to be.
Nah. Well, this is one of the few, if not only, songs where all 5 members got credit.
Yes, I
It's-
saw.
It's made up from bits and pieces of lyrics by Lindsay, Stevie, and Christine. And Mick and John had come up with the rhythm on their own.
Nice.
And eventually, everything was linked together like a, I know there's a word for it.
A rope, like a rope.
A rope?
A rope.
Yeah, like a rope.
The rope.
They
The
should have called
rope.
this song The Rope. Yeah. And yeah, anyway, there's like more anger. Damn your love, damn your lies. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. And I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. Guess what? You broke it. But that's an interesting take that you had, because I always kind of looked at it as like they're just pissed, and it's like you said you were going to be there, but you're not. You son of a sea cook. Get out of my sight. I hate you. If I had a chain now, I would chain whip you to death.
No, I kind of looked at it as like, I don't love you anymore, but there's this connection like a chain that can't be broken easily. So you may not like it, but it's like, you know that if anyone were to do something to them, you'd beat the ever-living daylights out of them.
Yeah, but they're still saying, you said you would never break the chain, but obviously you lied because it's broken, and I'm like,
But don't they say at the end? Hold on, let me Google the lyrics. The Chain, Fleetwood Mac, lyrics. Because there were some lyrics at the end that made me change my mind as to what the song is about. They say, chain keeps us together, running in the shadows over and over. It's like they're reaffirming their pledge.
yeah, but then why would they go back to you would never break the chain? Because they want it both ways.
They're daring them. It's like, you're never going to break it. You know it's too important.
Even though I still hear you saying you would never break the chain. Ooh. Or
Yeah.
maybe that's their promise. I can still hear you saying you would never break it. Maybe they were the one who broke it. Or maybe it should be broken. I don't know. People out there, give us your take. What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think the chain's about? All right. Next.
And I gotta say, and thanks to the power of headphones, this is the first time I ever heard the futzing around on the dobro that occurs in the first 4 seconds of the song.
That's what that is. Okay.
And could John's bass solo get any deeper?
Yeah.
I mean, even on headphones, it's like you feel it in your chest area.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, next track. You Make Loving Fun. I know John and Christine were the ones who got divorced, but even post-divorce, their relationship sure as hell seems more stable than whatever the hell Lindsay and Stevie had. I feel like this song is supposed to walk us away from the ledge after listening to The Chain, just to kind of give us a breather. So I wasn't really listening to this track because I was still processing. And honestly, this song is too much of a contrast from a previous track to the point where I don't believe it. If it really is fun, then how do you explain that? What we just heard like a couple of minutes ago. And I get that the song is written by a different person, but it didn't have that same emotional investment as the last one. It's as if they said, okay, Christine, we need a song here, and this is what we got, which is a shame.
Well, the thing is, Christine wrote this about the band's lighting director with whom she was having an affair. Now, that guy must have been the shit.
To write a song?
To have a song like this written about him. Like, when John was sniffing around, oh, what's this song about? Christine, thought up really quick, it's about our dog. Which I thought, wow, that just makes it even weirder.
Bunch of bullshit! That's what that is. I hope he saw through that right away. And was like, no way.
And since Lindsay wasn't around during the early development of the song, Christine was able to build it up on her own, because he could be kind of a little bit of a taskmaster.
I can believe that.
Not exactly a Phil Spector, but he definitely made his presence known.
And he never murdered anyone either.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's so keyboard heavy. Like, when I was looking at the credits, I think she's playing at least three different types of keyboards on this one song. And yet it's another catchy song. And the band seems to be playing opposites, though, because now it's almost kind of like a not exactly sad, but not definitely bubbly music about happy stuff. I mean, I don't know if you would call the mood of this song like seductive, or kind of like, you know what? I look at it as like, as I just thought of what this music sounds like.
What?
It's post-activity. We're having our cigarettes.
That's what I thought too.
It's like, yeah, you make loving fun there, guy. Oh yeah. Yep. And maybe that's why it just has that really not lazy vibe, but kind of like.
Imagine if she's.
No, I don't want to say mellow vibe, but that I can't think of a better word.
Imagine if she wrote this song like literally after. What?
You make loving fun, even though you just fell asleep.
Maybe she was like, well, he's asleep. What can I do?
And I have a theory about why guys fall asleep.
Why? Energy?
Yeah, because this, like, you're expending a lot of energy.
I think women would fall asleep if they're given equal time.
That's true. Okay.
All right.
I am not against that.
All right, next track. I Don't Want to Know.
You don't want to know what? Oh.
Okay, we all know who this song is about, and honestly, I'm kind of sick of these two by now. Now, I get what Mom was going on about now. I get it. Like, we've had 3 or 4 songs of this torrid affair already. The Chain was when they peaked with the storytelling. We don't need it anymore. I'm sick of the two of you not being able to get over each other. Just do what other people do. Kiss and make up and never see each other again. Vent and complain all you want, but maybe start doing it in private now, because believe me, we get the point.
Well, maybe they wanted to make sure they got everything out of their system.
The Chain should have been it. They should have ended it with that, and then the rest of the album was just, I don't know.
Apparently there was one more link in that chain.
Put it before the Chain then. Let the Chain be. That's it.
Nah.
Yeah, anyway.
All right. That's all you have to say about that song?
Yes.
Okay. And once again, it's more happy music about sad stuff. Stevie wrote this before she and Lindsay even joined Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, wow.
The band wanted to use this song instead of Silver Springs, which of course pissed off Stevie again. But she said, she was glad that, if they were going to replace Silver Springs, that they used this song. And it's more devastating lyrics, especially the chorus. I don't want to know the reasons why love keeps right on walking down the line. I don't want to stand between you and love, honey. I just want you to feel fine. I'm going to sacrifice myself for your happiness, you son of a bitch.
Yay.
But I kind of look as like, well, you're being kind of like too accommodating, or almost like a doormat, in a way.
If you had a middle name, it would be Welcome.
But I guess
Poison Ivy.
when you know it's over, it's over. And I guess maybe Stevie's trying to be big about it, like, no, really, I want you to be so happy.
Bullshit.
Yes, there's that undercurrent.
She wrote that sadistic song at the beginning. We know what she's thinking.
Yep.
All right, next track. Oh, Daddy. So, this, the reason I said it this way, is it reminds me of a Tumblr post. Question: why did millennials sexualize the word daddy? Answer: because boomers sexualize the word baby.
That could be.
It's the circle of life. So, reading the title, I knew this song could go one of two ways. So I did some Googling to be sure. And at first, I thought it was going to be about the happy, wholesome way. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I was not prepared for what Fleetwood Mac would do if they went in the other direction. Or so I thought. Because then I listened to the song and I thought, this doesn't sound very father-daughter at all. Because I can't walk away from you, baby, if I tried.
No.
So
this is why they never played this song at any of those father-daughter dances we went to during my infancies.
So listen. The internet has corrupted us. Okay, if a person makes a song with the word daddy in the title, they can't make it ambiguous, because then it feels gross. You gotta be upfront about it, one way or the other. Either it's a father-daughter song, or it's very much not. You've got to be straightforward about which one you're going to pick. You can't blur the lines. That just feels gross. And this song doesn't even feel sexy. It feels weird and too somber. Christine, I'm sorry, but this isn't one of your best. Pick a lane. Don't be vague. Pick which one.
This was the 70s, man. All the lines were blurred, except the Coke lines. You didn't want to get them blurred, man.
Oh, we're going to get to that in the next song.
Cause, man, you don't want stuff being all over the place. But I did some research on this, and I remember like ever since this song came out, like when I first heard, I thought this is just really weird.
Yeah.
Like being a kid, I'm thinking, is she singing about her father? This is strange.
No.
And there are several theories about this one. This could be about Mick, who was also known as Big Daddy.
Yeah.
And he was the only father in the band.
Yeah, I heard that too, but I'm like, I don't think this is about him being a father.
What?
Nope.
There's also a theory that, once again,
it's the lighting
Christine's writing
designer.
about the lighting designer, who, again, must have been the shit, because he got not one, but
two.
possibly 2 songs.
Has anyone ever confirmed if it's about the lighting designer?
Don't know.
Okay.
Ken Calais said it was tough trying to find the right tempo for this song, because a quick one would have made it sound rushed, and the slow one would have made it lethargic.
Yeah.
But for me, while it isn't quite the latter, there's something about it that gives it a meh quality. Like,
yeah.
On any other album, this would be a terrific song, but on Rumours, it's just okay. It just really doesn't stand out. And like I said before, it was very 70s. Guys would call women mama. Women would call guys daddy. And I think if Freud was alive in those days,
he hit the cocaine.
He would have hit the jackpot and the cocaine. He would have just had a field day. He's like, what, cocaine? Everyone's using cocaine? This is great.
He did enough to kill a horse.
We have mama and daddy issues. This is even better.
Oh,
I'm going to be rich. Right.
Freud would have thrived in the 70s.
He would have.
Damn.
He would have.
Oh, wow. All right, final track, Gold Dust Women. Me, when I wrote these notes, must not make cocaine joke, must not make cocaine joke,
Go
must
ahead.
not make cocaine
Go
joke.
ahead.
No, I didn't have one.
Oh.
Fun fact, though, while I was listening to this song, Stevie Nicks and Tom Petty were both trending on Twitter at the same time. Why? No reason. People just wanted to talk about how good they were. Although a few people on Twitter were panicking and going, oh my god, did Stevie Nicks die? Because that's the thing. Every time a celebrity is trending on Twitter, people automatically assume death. And so the first thing people do is they check to see this gif of Denzel Washington shaking his head, putting his hand on his chest like, oh, you got me. And as soon as you see that gif, that means that the person didn't die and they're all right and they're fine. Anyway, as for the song, got some haunting vocals with haunting music to match, but I wasn't invested in the story. The screams did catch me off guard, though. Like, is that Lindsay? Is Lindsay getting cursed or something?
No, that's Stevie.
Oh, that's Stevie screaming?
At the end?
Yeah.
That's her.
Oh, I thought that was Lindsay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like she's going through withdrawal or...
Oh, God. Well, you did say her nickname could have been...
Hoover.
Yep. That's the only part of the song that interested me, and it's a really dark note to end an album on if you think about it.
Mm-hmm. And yes, gold dust is cocaine.
That's what I
which
thought.
Counting said, yep, take your silver spoon and dig your grave. Yep. And I actually did research on the silver spoon, and it was like just the right amount to get. I think it was like a gram of cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
And then I fell down this rabbit hole where also back in the 1970s, McDonald's came up with like these long spoons for stirring their coffee,
Uh-huh.
but they became really popular for cocaine,
Oh, that's
and
wonderful.
they were referred to as the McSpoon.
The mixed spoon. I'm
The
Googling
McSpoon.
this.
And it got to such a point that someone,
Oh my God! The first article from Priceonomics, the McDonald's cocaine spoon fiasco.
yep.
So many articles.
So someone,
Oh my God! Is this what it looks like?
that's the one.
Oh my God! So for those who can't see, go Google it. But it's like this plastic spoon. It's very long, and at the end of it, it's got the McDonald's on raised plastic, and the end of the spoon is the McDonald's arches.
Yep.
Wow.
And what happened was someone in the government came to who the guy was running McDonald's at the time and said, "Hey, do you think you could replace all your coffee spoons because we got this cocaine problem going on?" And the owner said, "We have 4,500 restaurants. Do you know how much that's going to cost?" And the government guy said, "Well, look at it this way. You could probably be preventing your children from becoming cokeheads."
Yeah.
And the guy who was running McDonald's at the time said, "Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of makes sense." So it took them a long time, but I think it was by 1979 all the McSpoons were gone.
Wow. Did they ever cover that on F is for Family?
Not yet. No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
But apparently you can find like commemorative spoons. Like someone made like a gold version of it because they were just insanely popular.
I should give that to Evil Mitch as a birthday gift or something.
Uh-huh. Anyway, Stevie said she never imagined that cocaine would overtake her. She thought she had it under control, but she didn't.
Didn't she still hide a gram of it in her boot or something? She said that in some sort of Oprah interview.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And there were people out there who thought that she did way too much. And that
Were there others who thought she did way too little?
No, I guess they did it, but they're like, wow, you're just leaving us in the dust, no pun intended. And that made an impression on her enough to write this song. And for me, the music kind of like has a spaghetti western feel to it. Like, I don't even think it'd be out of place on Django Unchained if it was just instrumental.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yep. And supposedly Mick's breaking sheets of glass in the background to accentuate Stevie's voice, but I can't hear it. I listen to the song a lot, and I just can't hear it. Like he wore like gloves and all the safety equipment, and he was trying to break the glass on time to her singing. And they said, "You know what? Just break the glass. We'll edit it in later. Don't worry about it." And to me, Stevie's voice sounds haunting, or maybe it's haunted throughout this whole song. And like I said, at the end with her wailing, it's kind of like either she's going through withdrawal or her life is just so screwed up with everything going on with the breakup and
Maybe
the drug
both.
habit and just everything.
All I can think of is that episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender with screaming in a pillow. Help! Oh God! All right.
So overall,
Overall, this album is very good, and I can see why it's iconic. That doesn't mean every song is a hit, but the songs that do hit are going to stay with you for a while. Just know, though, if you get sick of Lindsay and Stevie complaining about each other, you're probably not alone. Definitely give it a listen, though, if you haven't already.
I mean, overall, one of the truly great albums ever made. And if you have to have only one Fleetwood Mac album in your collection,
Pick this one.
this is it.
Yeah.
And as great as Rumours is, I still think it's an albatross around the band's neck almost 45 years
I
later.
can see that.
Because Mick Fleetwood said its success allowed the band to do whatever they wanted to.
For better or for worse.
Which they did. But I think fans and critics were always expecting Rumours 2, Rumours 3, Rumours 4.
Rumours Infinity.
Rather than Tusk, Mirage, Tango in the Night, and so on. When the band went to make Tusk, when they got all together, Lindsay was adamant that it wouldn't be Rumours 2, and the reaction was, oh, thank God, because we don't want to do that again.
Oh, well, that's good. At least they were all on the same page.
And Tusk is definitely a 180 from Rumours.
We're going to cover that someday on the show. Don't worry.
And I think critics and fans have never forgiven the band for deviating from Rumours. And it's kind of like, they got everything out of their system. I think you can only be angry for so long, and they had other things that they want to write about, other styles of music that they want to explore. And, Tusk definitely wiped the slate clean.
For better or for worse.
I mean, that's one of those albums, like we review it someday, that's one
We
of those
will.
albums that took me a long time to come around to, because I admit I was one of those people who was like, wait a minute, why is this part two? There should be part two. Hey, this is a pretty good album.
All right. Well, until then, as always, thank you for listening to another episode of My Dad Listens to This. Like, comment, subscribe, and tap the bell and all that jazz. Follow me on my social media if you want the episode updates. And if you're friends with my dad, email him and he can email the episode right directly to your inbox. Thank you for listening to another installment of My Dad Listens to This. Dad, anything you want to say before we sign off to our loyal viewers?
Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. I'm Casey Kasem.
Night, everybody.